In this lecture, we will learn doing the selection with the Magic Wand Selection tool. Like the name, the tool works magically. It will select the similar color pixels with just a click. Over here we have a flower image. So if we want to select the flower or subject in the image, we have two methods. The first one is to select the flower or subject directly, and the other is selecting the remaining area of the flower or subject and inverse the selection so that we get what we want. We have to decide which method would work easy and fast. Here we will see the second method. We can see the green and blue colors merged beautifully in the background. Just click anywhere on those colors with the Magic Wand tool. You can see that an area with similar colors around it has been selected. Now press the Shift key on your keyboard to add new areas to current selection and click on the remaining areas. Repeat the process until you select the background except the flower. To be specific where to click, change your icon to crosshair icon by turning the caps lock on. Once you are sure about the selection, just right click on the image and select an option to invert the selection. This will select the unselected area and deselect the currently selected area. So now your selection is done. If you want to avoid clicking number of times and want to select the area with minimal clicks, we have the tolerance option in the option bar. Increasing the value will increase the color variation range for your selection. Increase the tolerance by dragging the mouse on tolerance text or change the value around 65. Now click on the background. You can observe that it has selected more pixels than the previous time we did. Use the Shift and the Alt keys to add or remove areas. Remember that more tolerance might add the areas that we don't want. Now deselect the area and change the tolerance value to 10. Click on the background again. This time you can see less area got selected than the previous two trials. Press Shift and add the areas that are left to select. You may need to click several more times as we have less tolerance settings. Before tolerance, we have a sample size drop-down option. This option is useful to take sample colors for selecting the pixels in the image. It will consider the average color value within the sample size range from the point where we click. The bigger the sample size, the more color it will pick from the point by calculating an average color within the sample size range. We also have, as usual, 4 buttons for adding, subtracting and intersecting the selection on the options bar. Also, we have an anti-alias option for smoother edge of the selection. The next option is contiguous. The option selects the pixels from the image only if they are connected. If we deselect the option, the tool will search for the same color throughout the image. Here, if we click on the blue area at the top of the image, you can see that all the blue color areas from the image got selected. Now let's select the contiguous option and select the same color again. You can see that only one side area got selected this time. We also have similar blue color pixels at other part of the image. But because it is not in the continuation, only those pixels which are connected to each other got selected. The next option is Sample All Layers. This option is useful when we have multiple layers in the image. We will learn the layer concept in upcoming chapters. But just to learn the option, let me divide the image into layers. Currently, the option of sample all layers is not selected. Let me click on the blue area on this layer. You can see that though the colors are connected from left to right of the image, only the left part area got selected. The reason is we don't have any pixels on the right side area on the selected layer. Let me select the option of sample all layers. Now if we click on the same area, it will select the color from all the layers. Let me undo the layers to proceed. The next button on the option bar is Select Subject. This option is completely based on artificial intelligence of Photoshop and it detects the subject by its own algorithm. It works on major of the images where we have a very clear focused subject in the image and blurry or very less color variants in the background. You just need to click the button and it will select the flower without using any tool or any clicks on the image. We might need some refining of edges depending on the image. So if we have a simple background and a subject with high contrast edges with background, this button makes our work very easy. Now let's talk about relative questions. So the first question is about explaining the tolerance. Tolerance decides to select pixels in color variation range. Less tolerance will select less color variation areas, whereas more tolerance will select the higher color variations areas. The second question is what is contiguous and how is it useful? So contiguous option lets you select the pixels which are connected to each other only. It will not select the sample color from the image if it is not connected with the current color area. It is useful when you have similar colors in the background as well as inside the subject area. You can simply avoid selecting the subject area and select the color shades in the background only. The third question is what is sample all layers? So sample all layers will select the areas from the all visible layers. That's what it is.